everybody, what's going on? It's time for the Tuesday morning, just after Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast. My name is Average Joe, or Not So Average Joe, as you know. And, so, first things first. Bill's, he always goes, how are you? Just checking in on you. Obviously, you can't fucking check in on somebody that you don't talk to. He says, he makes a joke. I wonder if he really means it. I wonder if he really feels that way. I'd say no. I'd say he's just doing it for fucking entertainment value. Now, let's get on to the shittiness of the weekend. So, fucking the rich people get to have their fun and do their shit. Fucking Bill, I went up and I got this fancy fucking coffee from whatever area, and then I went to this other area and got a cappuccino and a fucking a little bite-sized cannoli because I don't want to get fucking fat. Oh man, it's funny. Fucking, he talks about the billionaires so much. Billionaire this, billionaire that. Fucking, they don't pay a living wage and all that. And I'm not saying he doesn't pay his employees a living wage, but fact of the matter is, he said there's enough money to go around. And, looking at, about how much money, you could assume that he has, or he's worth, however you want to put that. My question is, if there's enough money, say there's enough money to go around, everybody to be, comfortable, happy, yada yada, so on, so forth. Excuse me. What happens when it comes out of his portion? Because if we were to do that, if we were to, make sure that every human's got food, a home, clothing, all the necessary shit, I think it would end up coming out of, a little bit out of Bill's money, all the millionaires too, maybe not like, you're worth just barely $1 million, you worked your life, your ass off and you saved up, $1 million in equity or something. That's different. But like fucking, Bill and his fucking cat, I got rid of all my cars. You poor, hopeless man. You have no vehicles, and all the money from those vehicles and all the money that you make, what are you ever going to do? You had your dream truck. You had a Jaguar. You fucking, what is old poor Billy Boy going to fucking do? What is he going to do, man? How do you find the car? How do you find a car that you want with only like $10 million, $20 million? It's fucking, more power to him, because, God, it must be hard, it must be just, whew, and then he talks about, after he's got however many more shows, doesn't fucking matter, in New York, for his play, and then, he's got a little tour over in the Middle East and in Europe, like Italy or whatnot, Turkey, I don't fucking know, maybe that's just where he's getting his fucking hair redone. Either way, point is, the next thing he goes on to say is, and then I'm coming home and spending the rest of the year with my family. Oh, you poor man. Did you have to spend only 26, maybe 30 weeks, maybe 40 weeks out of the year away from your family? You poor guy. Gosh. Spending fucking Monday through Friday all the time away from your family, 52 weeks a year, every single week, that's nothing, man. When you only get 12 weeks at home, like Bill, poor guy, 12 weeks at home with his kids and his wife, with all the money he could use, and he can go and find a car. Well, he needs to find a car. Man, that just sounds like such a fucking struggle, doesn't it? Oh, I'm so sick of fucking hearing this bullshit. Like, dude, you're one of my favorite comedians, don't get me wrong, but enough with the rich people shit. You are a rich people. Get back down to the fucking 40, 50,000 or less level, I'm not saying you didn't earn it. don't take that away from him. I'm not saying he didn't earn it. I'm not saying he didn't work, for 30, whatever, blah, 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 blah. However many years he worked to get in the position he's in. But, no, it's just the point of like, I don't mind that you got money, I'm not one of those people like he said, half the people say if you got money, you're an asshole, and the other half, if you don't got money, you're a scumbag. No, I'm not like, I understand, like I said, I'm not saying you didn't earn every penny, that you got coming in. All I'm saying is you can't be a rich person and bitch about rich people. Even if they're more rich than you, I understand that, but that's like, I don't even know how to explain. That's like me bitching about someone who makes, 65, 70,000 a year, and then someone who makes like 15 to 18,000 bitching about me. At the end of the day, none of us can afford a one-bedroom fucking apartment, or a house. Whereas old Bill, fucking net worth in the millions. He could sell his house right now and he could tell fucking Nia and the kids, he could sell the house right now and tell them, like, you have under 24 hours to get your shit and get out. The house is sold. And here's the best part. He'd have a new address for him. He'd have a fucking new, it'd be instant. Yeah, I sold this house, but with the millions of dollars that I have and the millions, from the house, we bought a better one. And then he's talking about in New York, his apartment's clean and corporate apartment, this and that. Yeah, dude, you probably got a fucking apartment given to you for the show, or for your name and your comedy and the show and all that. You got an apartment given to you. You're sitting in this clean ass, yes, it might be boring, but you're sitting in this nice ass, probably like 70th floor condo style, fucking beautiful. Anybody in my level wish they could have it. Yeah, I'm just fucking bitching this morning. I had a situation going on with somebody I'm dealing with that's fucking, I don't know if they're out of their fucking mind. I mean, well, we're all out of our fucking minds, but it's like, we're watching, I'm watching fucking hockey, and I'm bitching about, because, I mean, you got, an illegal hit over in Edmonton and Vegas, and there's either a fine or, something might be coming up, I don't know, but they're talking about fines and stuff, and then, somebody else, one of the Maple Leafs got a fine for a hard hit or some stupid shit against the Panthers. Panthers tied the series up, but, no, I was bitching because it's like, all right, so in the Dallas-Winnipeg game, in the Edmonton-Vegas game, in the, the Capitals, Hurricanes game, even against Toronto, the fucking refs will call a bad hit. Like, oh, you hit him too hard. You hit him in the face. You hit him with your stick. You hit him where it hurts. You hurt his feelings. You broke his heart. You're making him cry. Yada, yada. But the fucking Florida Panthers can literally throw elbows to the face to goalies, to forwards, defensemen, to fucking, it doesn't matter who. And so I'm sitting there, I'm bitching at the TV by my fucking self. And all I'm talking about is how it's illegal. So if you're going to follow the rules, follow the fucking rules. For everybody, not just for, 7 of the 8 remaining teams. That's fucking stupid. That's fucked up, And it's been this way, not even just this play. Like, it's like I said, the Panthers to me are the new Chiefs, like of the NFL. That's the Chiefs, Like I said, they just need a Taylor Swift. They need Taylor Swift, the Chiefs aren't a very ground and pound kind of team, so she's a good, a really pretty girl they can put on TV. But for the Panthers, you need like a gritty woman. You need like a fucking, like that Amanda Amanda Serrano, that's her name, the boxing girl, the Italian boxing girl, who lost because fucking that Katie girl that she was boxing. All she would do is every time Amanda would get a good fucking leg up on her, the Katie girl would hug her. She'd fucking hug her. which I don't know if that's even a thing in boxing or in sports, like, not in sports, but, you know, in fighting. Like, I don't know if that's a thing where you hug them, like, to keep the, you know, punches out, or if it's like a little, like, hey, give me a second. I don't know what it is, but she would hug her, and then right after she was done hugging her, it's like she'd back up and then wham, hit her in the fucking right above the eye. And the girl Amanda started getting a cut right above that eye. And you know how boxing and all that goes. You know, you keep hitting the same cut, the same spot, it's going to swell. You know, soon it's going to be, you know, you're going to have like one eye open, one eye shut. You know, because it's swollen around your eye. So this Katie girl's using more strategy than actual fighting, which, I mean, if strategy, I mean, it worked. She won the fight, but the Amanda girl, her and her trainer were like, that's fucking crap. Because, you know, she fucking cut her with the glove, and then every single fucking, like I said, every move after that, like the Amanda girl, like I said, she get her leg up, here comes a fucking, you know, knockout hit, bear hug, fucking big old I love you, you know, don't hit me please, kind of fucking bear hug from this Katie Holmes. I forget her name. It might not be Holmes. I think she was Irish, but either way, it was fucking stupid because the Katie girl was getting her ass, you know, should have got her ass beat in the fight, but no. So yeah, you know, I'm talking about like rules are rules, you know, and you know, if you're gonna follow it for one team, or, you know, follow it for 7 of the 8 teams, then, you know, it's pissing me off and pissing a lot of other fans that are friends off. And out of nowhere, I just get yelled at, I'll elbow you in the fucking face. And, you know, to save issues, I'm not going to name who or where, but, yeah, I'm in one room, you know, watching the game, and this person's in another. I don't know if they're grabbing a beer, or, you know, I don't fucking know what's going on, but yeah, out of nowhere, I just get told, yeah, I'm gonna elbow you in the face, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, I was like, I'm yelling at the TV, and the person's like, oh, I don't care, I'm blah 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 blah, and you know, needless to say, we got in a big fucking, you know, argument. Well, not a big argument, but you know, you're not going to sit there and just say, I'm going to elbow you in the face when I haven't said anything mean to you. I'm like, we're damn near not even, you know, not even part of the same group right now. Like, you're hanging out with this, you know, over here. I'm hanging out over here. You know, I mean, it's fucking like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, say you go to a fucking, like, the fair, you know, everybody's got, like, a local fair that happens or whatever. So, say you go to your local fucking fair. And, you know, say you're on the Ferris wheel, and you get off the Ferris wheel, and you're like, all right, so let's say you're, you know, out there with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your significant other, your friends, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just, you're out with somebody, with people at a fair, and you get off a ride, and you're like, hey, you want to go get some funnel cakes? And your people are like, yeah, man, funnel cake sounds awesome. Like, you know, we got some dinner earlier, had a couple rides, ready for a snack, you know, getting fucking fat. We're at the fair. And somebody like 20, 30 feet away goes, I'll beat the shit out of you if you get a funnel cake. You better to fucking not. You know? That's pretty much what happened to me. I got fucking threatened to get hit in the face over yelling at the TV. And I don't even think I was yelling. Like, dude, this fucking... I don't know what to think, man. Like, and the person that I'm talking about, you know, it's like the fucking, they show some strange habits and abilities, and I don't fucking know, man. I mean, looking realistically, I might have to make some changes in my you know, my group up here in Michigan. Now that I got here, you know, my lifestyle, my group, my friends and family and circle, or whatever you want. I might have to make some changes, because I mean, I can't have fucking people just, you know, out of the fucking blue, not even in the same conversation or the same, you know, like I said, same context, just threatening shit. And it might have been, you know, drinking. It might have been fucking just trying to be funny because, you know, I don't mind like a little roast, you know. I mean, you know, good friends, you know, a little roast back and forth, that's fine. But when you threaten physical shit and it's out of nowhere, and like I said, we're not even in, all right, now I'm rambling. But anyway, so I got that stupid shit to deal with. Fucking, we had the secret agent lady I was telling you about at work. Fucking, you know, that's always looking for information and shit, and always, you know, like, what's the 411 on all the people, you know, you know, so what basically, long story short is, you know, I say this person's a double agent, secret agent. I don't know what for. I don't know who for. I don't know why, but, you know, too many questions asked and too many weird stories and just fucking weird activities, you know, disappears and shit, and so double agent disappeared for a week. All of a sudden, super bad health problem, disappears, you know, come to find out, this person is going to be gone, you know, indefinitely. They're probably going to have to hire somebody new, yada yada. And, you know, work goes on as it does for, you know, the week, for a couple days. And, next thing you know, so Friday, the bosses are like, all right, they're like, you know, excuse me, you're gonna have to hang out with me while I smoke a little bit, because I can't fucking find another peaceful place in this goddamn planet to fucking smoke and hang out and fucking, you know, have a little minute to myself. So excuse my coughing. I'm sorry for that one. But no, the double agent at work fucking, you know, last Monday or so, it was, oh, she's out indefinitely, injured, you know, or not injured, I'm thinking sports, like long-term injury reserve, but, yeah, indefinitely. And so what happens, the boss says, hey, I'm not going to be here on Monday, so here's everybody's assignments. All right, cool. You know, no worries. Again, work is, you know, I guess I'll say easy. I don't want them catching the wind, like catching wind of that and thinking I'm saying, oh, it's so easy. You know, it's so fucking easy. It's stupid. I'm sleeping. Because then they'll make it harder somehow, you know. If you got time to lean, you got time to clean. You know the fucking bullshit. You know the bullshit. But, yeah, so she disappeared. Fucking, you know, nobody was to hear from her again. And come yesterday, fucking show up at work, and lo and behold, fucking secret agent shows up. No injury, no problem, no health, like, nothing. Not a fucking thing. The boss didn't know about it. Nothing. So this just makes me, it just backs up my belief that we're dealing with the fucking, like I said, dealing with the double agent over here. Shit, what else do we got, man? Let's see here. We got, alright, I don't watch basketball really, but, you know, I'm either a New York fan for most teams, and then my exception is hockey, because as a kid growing up in Tampa, you know, my family's from New York, so there's always, well, you gotta root for the Yankees, you gotta root for, you know, the Jets or Giants, one of them. It wasn't really a choice because they both sucked at the time. The Giants always been a little better. Yeah. But, no, so yeah, the Knicks, you know, are up 3-1 on Boston, which, you know, as a New York-Boston rivalry, you know, I could say fuck yeah, but even more fuck yeah, just because, you know, it seems to always be Boston and then either Golden State or the Lakers. Like, it seems like upset year. I was looking through the scores, and you got, like, Indiana, I think, that's, like, 3-1 on the Cavaliers, and the Cavaliers are usually up there. They're number 1 seed. And then you got, what is it? The Warriors are down to, like, the Timberwolves or something like that. 3-1. And then you got the Knicks, which, I think I've said this before. I've heard the Knicks were, you know, somewhat decent. And I don't know his name, but I watched the guy. He's got like fucking cornrows or braided hair, a little bit lighter skin, a little shorter on the Knicks, but he seems to get the job done. I say a little shorter, like, you know, like he's a fucking midget, but in reality he's probably, you know, fucking guy with a fucking full-size trailer pulls out right in front. I should have just kept going, because it would have been his fault, but I don't feel like fucking dealing with the cops and insurance. No. So, yeah, the Knicks are up 3-1 on fucking Boston, which, you know, well, all the typical, you know, top playoff teams are down 3-1, it seems. It's fucking weird. It's crazy. We got Edmonton one game away from taking out Vegas, which I'm okay with on Vegas, because Vegas has been making it every year. They got like the cream of the crop of players when they did their expansion draft, so I don't really feel too bad. Edmonton, the only reason I don't want Edmonton to win, not even just the series, but the cup, is if you look for, there's a video somewhere online. It might be deleted now. But if you look, there's a video somewhere online, and it's like it might be game 6, game 7, I don't remember exactly what game it was, but Connor McDavid, you know, supposed to be, I don't know if he's captain, but either way, he's supposed to be the best player in hockey. He's supposed to be like you know, an example for the world, man. Like, you know, everybody wants to be like him. You know, everybody wants to be as good as him, and you know, you'd hope like when you see Wayne Gretzky talking. I know he's older now. He might have been cocky in his youth, but you know, when you see him talking, it's not like, oh, you know, I'm the best. Nobody's gonna catch my shit. Like fucking, you know, I'm Wayne fucking Gretzky, damn it. You know, yeah, Ovechkin got my goals, but look at his assists. He's a bitch. You know, like, no, he doesn't talk like that. You know, and there's a video where McDavid's in the locker room, and I don't even, like I said, I don't remember the game or what the score was, but he's throwing a fit like I would have when I was like 10, you know, and like my dad and I were wrestling, and then he hurt me, and it upset my feelings. Like, he was throwing that kind of fit, like screaming to the point where he's going to lose his voice before the next period starts. And he's not even screaming like at himself or just out of anger. He's screaming at everybody else like, you guys need to step it the fuck up. I'm doing my best and nobody else is fucking doing shit. Blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I have to say, I've always been one of those people that I respect Tom Brady as far as a football player. Like, I acknowledge and, you know, commend his fucking, his accolades, what do you call them? Records, awards, you know, achievements. But I always thought he was a whiny little bitch, because he fucking, you know, he, like the one, I forget what it was, if they lost to the Jets or something, but they lost in a playoff game, and he's like sitting on the ground, like crying, where the quarterback would be, like in the pocket. He's just sitting there, legs out, you know, like basically like, I wanted ice cream. You know, like he's just mad because they lost the game. Like he's waiting for his parents to fucking take him out for that, it's okay, honey, you'll get him next time, ice cream cone, you know, not even the full size, like, he's getting the fucking kiddie cone. But then we have McDavid, who, like I said, arguably does fucking twice as bad, because, I mean, you know, crying, I guess, is one thing, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those people that, you know, I'll sit there and fucking tears will come out when I'm super pissed off, whether I mean it or not. You know, obviously I don't mean to cry. Like, I've been in fights where I'm swinging and they're swinging, like we're throwing punches, and I'm fucking teared up. Like, I look like I'm crying. You know, well, I am crying for, you know, for the purpose of what it means. But shit. No. So McDavid fucking. I mean, he's screaming at everybody in the room about, you're not good enough, and you're not. It was like Oprah, but a negative Oprah. Like, you're not good enough, and you're not good enough. Nobody's good enough. Everybody look under your seat and see how much you suck. It was horrible. As a friend, as a leader, you don't do that. You know, you don't yell at your team that they're horrible the whole time. You know that, like, that's not the way to rally the troops. You know, you think in World War II, you think that like the generals and the leaders of the armies were like, you know, like to the Allied troops when the Germans were advancing. You think they were like, you fucking suck. You're horrible. Like, what are you What are you doing with your lives? You know, you're just gonna die out here, and you're not even worth any German, you know, any Nazis. I'm not gonna say Germans because it wasn't all Germans, but it's like, you know, you're not worth anything. You know, you're not even worth the carrier pigeons that we assigned to you. It didn't happen. You know, like maybe in training camp, you know, like maybe when they you know first started to get them tough, but no, after that it was you know, I'm sure they were giving it, like, when you're on the field, yeah, you're getting yelled at, but it's not like getting yelled at like, you know, you can't aim for shit. Like, no, I think they're probably telling you, like, you know, we got this, keep moving, you know, like, you know, fight on, you got the power, you got the strength, and that's not what he did at all. And so that's why I don't want Edmonton to, you know, to win it all. Dallas would be cool. They seem like a deserving team. You know, they don't seem like they got many reasons to root against them. Fucking, let's see. What do we got here? Sorry about that. I got a fucking popo following me. Probably gonna get pulled over in a podcast. Oh, yeah. But, no, I'm actually going to stop here at this fucking 7-Eleven and see what happens. But, give me a second here. I'm one of those people I get fucking, my mind is all messed up here. No, I'm pulling in 7-Eleven to finish this cast. I got like 15 minutes before work, and I'm not sitting at work. Can't smoke there. And you can't smoke with the cop behind you. I'm not condoning any bad behaviors, but you gotta smoke your cigarettes somewhere, man. On that note, back to the NHL. So yeah, Dallas is a good team that I'd say I'd pick winning, or I'd say I'd be okay with. Toronto's been a while, so you know they've earned, for the most part, they've earned their shot. They just got to beat the Panthers, and they got to fucking do it somehow, getting their ass beat every game, and not even getting, like, there's no punishment. So somehow you gotta dodge like neck breaking moves, and still score, and still play defense. So yeah, if Toronto pulls this out, like, I fully expect the Panthers to win the entire season, not because they earned it or they deserve it, but because they play like fucking. You know, and people say, like, oh, it's just bruiser hockey. And no, I'm all for it. Like I said, if you're within the rules, like those players that get hit against the wall, or not even against the wall, like there's the Jets, the Winnipeg Jets, and the Dallas series, I believe. I forget which team it was, but the guy on the other team comes skating up and knocks dude right off his feet, and he flips right over the wall and right onto his bench. And it was basically like, you're done skating for this second. And it was a legal hit, you know. But it flipped him right over the wall. You know, he fucking backflipped, and he whoop-de-doo, fucking, you know, that quick. But the point is, it was legal, so I wasn't mad about it. I'm not going to complain, or, you know, it's within the rules. It's within the, you know, the rights. So, you know, by all means, play on. You know, play on. But elbows to the face are never within the rule. Like, that's not within the rules. That's not anywhere in the rule book. Like, you know, you can elbow to the face with a maximum speed of 17 skating miles per hour. You know, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not the fuck how it works. But then all these other guys are getting penalized and shit for hits that are, you know, hits that are legal, but, or maybe not even legal per se, but, you know, definitely not as just outlandish as the Panthers shit. Let's see, what else we got going on here? Let me check my notepad. I don't even have a notepad because fucking I listened to Bill yesterday, and then fucking, like I said, I had all that bullshit, trying to watch the games. I had to leave and, fucking go home and just fucking, just sit to myself and think, like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I said, I have some thinking to do, because, you don't fucking, I'm not even talking about because I'm a man, like, it's just, you don't fucking threaten somebody that you're not even hanging out with, to do something that is happening to people in real life, in a sports game, but it's happening, and these people are saying, like, look, a hit to the head, you only got one brain, you only got, one set of teeth, or, well, teeth I shouldn't say because they're hockey players, but you get my point. And then this motherfucker just wants to fucking threaten, and I'm supposed to just sit there and accept it, and then, so we got in an argument, and we, went our separate, like I said, I went home, and we went our separate ways, but I don't know, man, it's more than just, dropping a friend, if, I don't want to do that, but at the same time, there's got to be there's going to be a cooling off, quiet period, and then there's got to be a talk, eventually, because, look, I mean, I don't know what, problems you got going on in your life that I don't know about, or, I don't know what your, issues are, but, it'd be different if I was like, if I was like, fucking, if anybody disagrees, I'll punch them in their fucking shit. And then I got a response back saying, well, I'll punch you in your shit. Even then, like I said, with friends, we do light roasting. So I kind of would have maybe been like, you might. Like, I believe you. But when you just come out of it, it's like, fucking, happy birthday. Oh, yeah? Happy birthday me? I'm going to fuck you up. Like, that, no, that's, no. That's not how we do things. That's not how shit, that's not how friends work. But I guess I fucking bitched enough about that. She wanted to bitch about Bill, actually had a decent podcast, but the shit that stuck with me is just, it's every podcast talks about the rich people not paying the wages and the money. But then he talks about, I got a fucking, a special, like I said, a special coffee and a special dessert. And my friend bought me tickets to this $1 million movie theater. And I got to go and fucking, I got the base jump off of the Freedom Tower. And I got to fucking, skydive out of a helicopter over the city and blah, blah, blah. All this rich people shit. And then he bitches about the more rich people, sending Katy Perry to the moon, Jesus Christ. Sending her to, like, the edge of the atmosphere, or, the edge of space, however you want to, fucking, either way, it's the edge. But, no, yeah, it's just, I don't get how, I don't get it. I don't get it, I feel like his mind is still stuck in the, well, he can't be stuck in the poor way mind, because, he's the one talking about, I'm going to spend, 12 weeks with my family and kids, and it's like I said, poor fucking you. Only 12 weeks. God, you're almost as, you're struggling almost as much as the fucking president, with all his golf course trips and all his fucking private flights and all the, government and their private flights and shit. Like, God forbid that you only have 11 or 10 weeks with your fucking family. I don't know. There's a lot of people out there like me that work a lot and see their family a couple times a year if they're lucky. And I mean, like, a day, a couple times, a couple days a year. So, yeah, on that note, go fuck yourself, Bill. And, of course, I'm always coming out of a place of love. I mean, the money thing isn't, that's more just, what the fuck. Not so much love, but more of like, where's your thought process at? Because you are one of the rich people, not a billionaire, but, yeah, so, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to end up doing here. I gotta look out for me, I mean, and my safety and my, like I said, it's not just the threat, but this person's got some really weird, sketchy habits, and some things that don't make sense. And this shit's a little creepy, like, it's one of those people that you feel like, say you're out going hunting with them. It's one of those people you feel like they would just turn the gun on you and and that'd be it. And that'd fucking be it, And, I don't want to think this way about any of my friends. But I think this way about family. I have family members that I wouldn't trust, with the gun pointed at me. Or even, even in any situations. I have family members. I have a family member. I have at least one specifically, that I wouldn't trust. I wouldn't trust with 50 cents. And I could have, a stack of $100 bills in my hand and 50 cents in my pocket, and you're still not getting it. Because, and that's just that family member. But that's the point. If there's family that, I can't even trust with $1, and this person, like I said, it's someone that I feel, gets in these weird, like, fucking, like, almost like a trance, like the time, like I said, when I got threatened to get hit, it was like almost like a trance. Like what the fuck is up your butt, or got into your fucking Cheerios that you're gonna just, I don't know, man. We're not fucking 18, like back when we were 16, 18. Hey, man, you want a fucking box? Like, that's one thing. I remember those days, but it's like, dude, I'm mid-30s. You're an adult. I'm an adult. Like, past 20 years old, I'm talking like adult, like fucking kids and wives and shit like that. Or, at least I want, a wife and kids, but most people, by our ages are married and have kids and blah, 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 blah. So the point is, it's like, I'm not fucking doing that, My fighting, my aggression are reserved for defense and protection only. That's it. I don't have time for that fucking drama and that bullshit, man. And, and even if you say you're trying to hang out with your friends and you're doing your thing, and I'm hanging out with mine, doing my thing, and I'm yelling too loud and it's annoying, just say, hey, we're trying to fucking do our own thing back here, or over here, or around here, or fucking, we're, like, I have my fire pit, you have your fire pit, we're all friends hanging out together and whatnot at our, individual fire pits and shit, just like I said, you just yell over, hey, keep it down over there, fucking, you're burning your marshmallows. I don't fucking, I don't know, but you don't just walk over and be like, I'll throw you in that fucking fire. Shut the fuck up. Like, not even, I don't fucking know. But, yeah, unfortunately, like I said, any of the funny shit for Bill just got lost in translation between the frustration of last night and then fucking, the fact that, every time I listen to the podcast, it's just shit about rich people and fucking, yada yada, and so fucking, this person's got stapled hair and that person's got that and this, and it's just crazy. But on that note, we are pulling into the job here because I get to go. Unlike Bill, yeah, he's got plays and shit, but unlike fucking Bill, and probably like most of you people out there, I got a fucking 40 hours, 32 more for this week to go. So, yeah, let's do this little loop-de-loop real quick. Oh, look, I'm the last person here. Look at that. Ain't that fucking fancy? Alright, we're going to back into the spot, but on that note, it is Tuesday, so everybody have a good, safe week. It's wet up here, so stay dry, happy, healthy, whatever, go fuck yourselves, and we'll catch in on Friday, see if Bill says anything about billionaires again.